Yo, what's up, everybody? Leo here, and today is a very special day because today we are going to do our first read aloud, and this one is a play. And it's from school. So, what we're gonna be reading today is Backstage with Chris and Casey. So this is the book that we're going to be reading, so let's get started. Chris, we are backstage at the play Sleeping Beauty. The play will open tonight to a sold-out audience. We are delighted to be interviewing some of the cast and crew of Sleeping Beauty. We have many questions for them. Let's get started. Welcome, director. Would you please start telling us what a director does? Being a director takes an enormous amount of work. My job is to put the whole show together. I've been working on Sleeping Beauty for almost 6 months. Today, we will perform for an audience for the first time. How did you get started on this play? First, I chose a script. There are many different versions of Sleeping Beauty. I chose the one that I thought told the story in the most interesting way. What did you do after you had a script? I found actors, designers, and crew members. Did your job become easier after you had people to help you? I hired great people, but the hard part has just begun. Putting on a play is a lot of work. We need to rehearse every day. We have had mandatory rehearsals every day for more than 2 months. What happens at a rehearsal? The actors practice their parts again and again. Part of my job is to pay attention to their acting. Then I give them tips on how they can make the performance better. That sounds interesting. What is the hardest part of being a director? Good question. It is difficult to criticize an actor's work, but I try to do it gently. I don't want to hurt the actor's feelings. I just want to show him or her a better way to do things. That sounds difficult. It is, but the hardest part of directing is taking a good play and making it into a great play. This takes a lot of work from everyone, especially the actors. What does an actor do besides say lines? I can answer this question for you. Reading and learning lines is just a small part of an actor's job. I thought so. Please tell me more about your job. Acting is a lot of work. For example, to play Sleeping Beauty, I had to do a lot of work ahead of time. I watched and read many versions of the story. That sounds like fun. It was, but I didn't read the stories just to enjoy them. I paid attention to how Sleeping Beauty acted in each one. After I got the script into production, I practiced reading the lines in different ways. How do you decide which way to use? My director was a big help. He suggested that I play Sleeping Beauty as a heroic character. Now I use a bold, brave-sounding voice to read my lines. How else do you make your character special? I practice reading my lines so that they sound natural. Of course, I wouldn't be Sleeping Beauty without my glorious costume. That leads us to our next guest, the designer. Are you responsible for all the costumes? That is right. That's right. I work with the team that makes costumes for a production. I love to draw, so I really enjoy creating costumes. Do you design anything else? Oh, yes. I want to immerse our audience in the world of Sleeping Beauty. To do this, I designed the sets to look real. You must be very busy. I am, but but I help the director with the last sounds, effects, and music. Then I work with the crew leader to make our ideas come to life. I'm impressed. How do you learn about the design? I went to an art school. I like to read about famous artists and designers. I get ideas by going to plays and museums. I learn about design all the time just by looking around the world around me. Crew leader, I just heard a little bit about your job from the designer. That is right. My team and I will help make the people will help all the people in the show do their jobs. We make sure that the things go smoothly. What are some of the jobs that you usually do? My biggest job is to run the soundboard. The soundboard controls all the sounds in the show. I'll make sure the audience can hear the dialogue and the music. It would be hard to understand a play without your help. The amount of work isn't a burden to me. I just need to pay careful attention to what's happening on stage. I need to be able to fix any problem quickly so that the show is not ruined by a problem with the sound. Thank you all so much for your time. I know you have a lot to do to prepare for the opening tonight. We have one more question for each of you to answer before you go. What would you tell someone who dreams of being in your shoes one day? Crew leader, let's start with you. Anyone who wants to be a crew leader must be able to pay attention to details and solve problems quickly. What advice would you give, director? A director must get along well with people. When you respect others, it is easier to work with them. Great advice, director. What would you say, actor? To become good at what I do, I just had to work hard for many years. I take my job very seriously, and I practice. Anyone who wants to do my job would need to do the same. Finally, designer, what advice would you give? I would tell the person to be creative. It is important to study and read about great artists. It is also important to have your own ideas and share them with the world. Thank you again for telling about your jobs. Good luck, and thanks for joining us backstage. That is the end. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye!